Mock Draft Monday is back. Welcome back to the Birdhouse Dynasty Show for our post Super Bowl Mock Draft Monday. We've got our Champions Edition here with, that's right, probably the greatest championship fantasy football player ever. Thanks to Mojo Forever. Shout out to you tonight. Hopefully you've hopped in. And we've got the LaDainian Tomlinson jersey for you. He's donated it for a month, so I'm going to hang it up in the back there for all you champions out there. Hopefully, some of you listening know who LaDainian Tomlinson actually is, but he's basically the last smaller school prospect at running back that we've had that's completely dominated the league. And what we're looking forward to in Ashton Genty from Boise State. And so we're going to get into some live mock drafts tonight. For all of you who may see the link down there in the comments section, go ahead and smack on that. After you smash the like and subscribe, share the link for the show, help the Birdhouse community out, get us out there, and get some more people in for some live mock drafts. All right, let's get you on over to the screen out there. Yes, indeed, we've got the mock drafts. Here we go. All right, so if you're having trouble hitting the link here, let me know. There's other ways I can share the link to you. Whether you're in one of my leagues or not, you can go onto my comments page on YouTube. You can find the link there as well. But just let me know in the chat if you are unable to get into this mock draft right now. We're going to wait for it to sort of fill up with at least a few of you out there tonight. So while we're waiting on that, let's chat a little bit about the disaster for the Chiefs that was last night. Woo! Talk about getting your teeth kicked in, Mr. Mahomes. Ouch. Man, yeah, when you don't get those hands to the face calls, it's a different ball game out there, isn't it? Whew. Man. So I threw the prediction out there on Facebook, 48-10 Eagles. Wasn't quite that bad, but it was pretty damn close. So, yeah, it was a delightful event. Had some of my boys. We all had a Super Bowl party down at Dave & Buster's. Yeah, just a monstrosity of food in the back room there at D&B's. And shout out to my boy Mark and his wife Kelsey for hosting that party. Phenomenal time. It was good to be an Eagles fan for one day, but I don't think I could do it. I not only do I not think I could do it, I know I could not do it ever again. It was just extremely extenuating circumstances that led to the even thought of having to root for the Eagles. But when you're looking at one team with the possibility of three-peating, that just is a situation that doesn't sit all that well with me. I'm old school. I grew up watching Montana and Rice and Cowboys dominance in the early 90s, and those teams were really dominating teams. This Chiefs team that averaged 22 points while giving up 19 points a game during the regular season, that somehow went 15-2, like that's not a powerhouse. That's like an above average team that should have been like 9-8 or 10-7, squeaking into the playoffs, losing in the first round. But so if you all don't think that the refs had something to do with it, like there was ulterior forces out there that led to a 15-2 record while only outscoring your opponents by an average of 3 points. I mean, come on. Now, obviously the Broncos 38-0 thrashing in week 17, which meant nothing, or week 18, I should say, that meant nothing, skews the points a little bit. But even if you take that game out of it, you're still looking at, okay, 22-17 is their average game. I mean, that is not kicking teams' asses. That's not a dominant team. And so I just couldn't get behind even for 1 minute supporting the Chiefs. So anyway, enough about last night. I feel bad for our boy, the DeLorean there. He was the lone soul at the party having to root for the Chiefs just because of some silly bet he made, some parlay he made like almost a year ago, where he took the Dodgers, the Buckeyes to win the NCAA or the college football playoff, and then of course the Chiefs. So like he was forced to root for the Chiefs, and then the rest of us were just, well, being as the best kind of Eagles fans we could. But anyway, here we go. We got Break Yourself in the house. That's right, my boy Anthony. He took the 103. Matt English hopping in. He is scooping up the 102, so they're ready to roll. Who else we got out there? I know, Grant, you've been just joined. I wonder if you're having trouble getting to the link or anything. Just let me know. But I think we're going to get this one rolling here. I'm going to grab the 109 just for fun. And let's get rolling here. All right. Here we go. Mock draft number 1. Omarion Hampton goes off the board to start things off. Not what I was expecting with my little Ashton Genty LT comp there, prelude. So Matt English there. If Genty's staring you down the barrel, you got to hop in on that, right? Otherwise, you got some splaining to do. Oh, yes. Another mock draft Monday here. We're going to be doing these every Monday night through the draft season. It is now on the NFL calendar. The next thing up is the NFL Combine coming up in just a couple weeks. Let me give you the exact date that it starts. I don't know if it starts on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday that week. Let me see. It starts on Thursday. Yes, Thursday, February 27th. So just 17 days away. Oh, yeah. Then 2 weeks later is the beginning of free agency. And then the ultimate hype starts for the rookie class as we lead into that month lead up for the 2025 NFL draft in Lambeau Field. Matt English, you're going to make a pick there? Come on, boy. You're sitting on the clock here. Oh, down to 20 seconds. What are you just going to time out here, Maddie? Come on, man. Make a pick. Make a pick. Let's go. All right. So, I mean, I don't know if I could have hit this if Ashton Genty had still been there. Okay, so Travis Hunter goes. I don't know how that happened, but Matt must have set up a cue there. All right, so here we go. We're on the Birdman. Anthony smashed Genty. No problem. Good man. That was maybe one of the easiest picks I've ever seen, Ashton Genty at the 103. So here we are, and yeah. So I kind of showed my hand here with Tyler Warren on my thumbnail of this, and we're doing a super flex draft here. Now, I didn't necessarily say whether it's tight end premium or not, and whether or not it's tight end premium, Shedeur Sanders is still sitting there on the board. So is Judkins, and Caleb Johnson. So I love all of those prospects, but we are going to assume a half-point tight end premium, and now we're not using any draft in particular, but I am going to go ahead and jump on my boy Tyler Warren, who I decided to use the thumbnail on today, and we're going to talk about this guy a little bit. So Tyler Warren, if you hadn't noticed, he put up a monster season. Let me give you the exact stats here, because he was well over 100 catches, just insane numbers for a tight end from Penn State, nonetheless. And there we go, 104 catches, 1,200 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Not to mention 200 more yards on the ground. Okay, so over 1,400 all-purpose yards for this guy. And again, as I've mentioned in the past, he was moved all over the board for the Nittany Lions, just like the Georgia team used Brock Bowers. And so I see a lot of nice landing spots, possibilities for Tyler Warren, but he is going to be a monster chess piece for whoever grabs him, because the Colts have been mocked him forever, and now he's starting to move up the board into the top 10. And so it's going to be very interesting to see where he ends up going. Okay, so looking at the running backs, because that's the main position this year. Now, Jackson Dart, dude, he has got to, I am just going to take him on principle here. So Jackson Dart has definitely got to get his ADP moved up, and I'm going to help that out right there, because he is now projected to be like a top 15 pick, and so there's really no reason he should have fallen to the 209 there. Okay, but all right, I'm back up here. We're looking at the running backs, because I love the running backs in the 3rd and 4th round of this draft. However, at tight end, Bronson Arroyo is sitting there. Why do I keep saying Bronson Arroyo? Elijah Arroyo is sitting there, and I'm going to smash on him. So now we'll get to the 4th round where I can grab any running back, literally, in this class. Any of the top 30 running backs are good players, and so it's really going to come down to opportunity. I mean, I remember the 2017 class, and there were dudes late, like I'm talking late, like Chris Carson late, who smashed. And Aaron Jones was not an early pick. Alvin Kamara even went in the 3rd round. Like, that was a huge monster class. And this class here, I'm telling you, there's dudes such as, well, which running back should I grab here? I love the top guy, Blaishaw Tootin, who blazed it at the Senior Bowl, and Rocket Sanders there. Raheem Sanders, who had 2 good years at Arkansas, transferred to South Carolina. He had been the number 1 class. And then Brashard Smith is still there. Jeez. All right, I'm gonna take the lowest guy down here, because he should be moved up, and that's Rocket Sanders. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him, because now we're going in the 5th round. I mean, Anthony, you don't have to pick in the 5th round here. We'll just end it here, even though there's dudes that can go in the good enough to get drafted here in the 5th. That just means we're going to have a great undrafted free agent class. So we're going to end this one there. But back to Rocket Sanders. He had, after the freshman year of this class, he had been the top running back. Quinshon Judkins was right there with him. Actually, he was a year ahead. Because, he came to Ohio State, and it was his 4th year. So, anyway, point being, Raheem Sanders was the top running back in this class. Then after year 2, it was Ollie Gordon, who won the Doak Walker award as a sophomore. Now, let me copy this link and get it out to y'all. Here we go. Boom, boom, paste, boom, there. And let me throw it out into a couple of my leagues quickly. Here we go. That's another link there. Okay. Trying to scroll down the board. I apologize, so I can get. Okay, if you're having trouble, let me know. But yeah, I'd like to see a couple people get back. I don't know, Anthony, if you can get on there, or Maddie, if you're still out there, go ahead and grab a spot. I don't know why. Very odd. I don't know why Sleeper's not letting me scroll down to my other leagues right now. It's really annoying me. Okay, firing out there to a couple of the leagues that I'm in. Here we go. All right. So, anybody looking to join a mock draft, hop on in if you have not been in on one so far. I'm going to probably I'm going to go into the middle. I want to get like the 5th, 6th, or 7th pick this time. Okay. I'm just checking it out here. Yeah, so in the meantime, while we wait for a couple to get back in here, we can chat about the Super Bowl. So what do you guys think about Saquon's performance? He was pretty well shut down. I mean, that was awesome defense by the Chiefs. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out too well because they couldn't stop anybody else on the Eagles, most notably the D-line. But yeah, I mean, Jalen Hurts was just lighting it up, doing what he wanted. When the Chiefs tried to take away Saquon, then Jalen Hurts was just running free. I think that they were doing a lot of like one read pass plays, and so they were technically almost run plays, RPO called quarterback sneaks for Jalen Hurts, and that's where he was able to take advantage of the safety cheating up in the box to stop Saquon. And that's once they knew it wasn't a running play, then he faded back. So anyway, all right. Well, I guess I'm going to do one myself here. So if you were picking in the 6 hole, which the draft that I just did, the Dynasty draft that I just finished up, which is our max point best ball league, I do have the 101 and 106. We drafted kickers in that league. And I'll go ahead and get this one started up here. So I drafted kickers in that league, and 106, the 201, and then the I believe the 206 and 212. And so reason I did it like that is I wanted to space myself out based on the tiers. Like, I don't know what you don't know for sure where the tier breaks are yet without the combine at least happening yet. So that's why I wanted to spread out my picks. I didn't want to have too many clustered in together because then I might get in the wrong position with the tiers. So I love, see, between Burden and Ibuka, it really is going to depend on which quarterback they end up landing to. I really want to take Warren, but man, all right, I'm just going to take. I got Ibuka in the draft we did last night. Now at the Super Bowl party I was at, we do this Crackhead League every year, and it's a redraft league. Oh, and I didn't even make it linear. Jeez. Let's check out these settings here. Let's update that. There we go. Okay. All right. So now I ended up taking Trey Harris, which is a solid pick. Don't love it. I probably would have taken Ollie Gordon, to be honest. But anyway, now it's back to me in the third here. And so let's look at running back first. Jackson Dart is sitting there. I jump all over that. Scatabo is sitting there. Man, this draft I love. And at tight end, we've got Mason Taylor and, of course, Elijah Arroyo still sitting there. I am going to take Jackson Dart. Check out Jackson Dart here. So this guy had a monster Senior Bowl, and in reality, it wasn't that he just played out of his mind. Like, he didn't throw the ball 85 yards or something crazy. He just played well and looked like he had command of the offense in a short period of time. Like, mind you, these guys, they come to Mobile and they don't have a whole lot of time to learn the plays that they're going to do. And so if you can pick up the plays quickly, that helps show that your processing is very quick. And that is what head coaches are looking for. That helps them believe that you're going to be able to process defenses quicker. And so that's showing maturity on the field. And you're seeing that a little bit more with the quarterback staying in school longer. So that's a good thing with this draft, with Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders also having stayed in school longer. So that's something on the positive side for this rookie class. All right, this time, fourth round. Arroyo's still there, my God. I really want Big Shaw Tootin in one of these, but I'm gonna go Arroyo. Man, he should not be falling to the fourth round. It's just insane value. All right, so there we go. Hell, I'll even pick in the fifth round here, just to show you exactly how deep this class is. So there went Tootin. Kyle McCord and Will Howard are very similar in that they probably both will be very solid backup quarterbacks. Okay, Will Howard is somebody I could see the Steelers taking, though, as like that fourth round guy who just he just seems like a Steeler to me. But now with the news of Rodgers probably being let go from the Jets to pursue other options, Steelers are one of the, I think they're the betting favorite, the odds-on favorite to be the next team for Aaron Rodgers. Now, it just depends if they really want to put up with this bullshit or not. Okay, so, dude, if Woody Marks and Brashard Smith and Rocket Sanders are all sitting there in the fifth round, it's insane. I'm going to take Woody Marks, but man, I would take any of those three guys in a heartbeat. They should have all been drafted. It's just wild. There's Raheem. was taken right before me. There you go. I got to go to round 6, though, for that to happen. That's just crazy talk. Crazy talk. All right. So these dudes, I am not going to lie, I do not know. But this is round 6. Okay. We're going to do one more, see if we can get anybody else to join in with the Birdhouse. I did grab Luther Burden with the 106 here. Trey Harris from Ole Miss catching darts from Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. So I got the Ole Miss teammates there, and Elijah Arroyo in the 4th round. Now, I'm telling you right now, there's no way by the time you draft that you are going to land Jackson Dart in the 3rd round, nor Elijah Arroyo in the 4th round. Let's check these settings quickly. Okay. Get it updated. Boom, boom. We're going to share the link out there. Copy the link into the chat for y'all. Here we go. Boom. Who else out there? What did I just do? Hello. Yes, I just unshared my mock draft. It's because I wanted to. I'm just going to hit up a few of my leagues to throw the mock draft out there for somebody to possibly share. Okay. I would have started earlier tonight, honestly, guys, but I was helping out my kids' basketball team, and their Monday practices got moved later, and it's really annoying because the same thing happened last year when I was coaching, and the community I'm in, they had him move back the start time on Monday night's practices from normally they were 6 to 7:30, and now they've made it so that they're 7:30 to 9. And this kid, I mean, they're 5th graders, right? They should be in bed by 9, right? But instead he got to come home. He wasn't in bed till 9:45. That's not great. Anyway. All right. Anybody hopping in? No. Okay. We will get rolling here. I am going to claim the 3-hole. All right. Let's get rolling. I'll go to another 4 rounds here just to hear my perspective on this. So here we had Tet McMillan going number 1 overall, Ashton Genty at the 2. Now, I know that Ashton Genty's been so pumped up by everybody, but, this is the type of thing that could actually happen, all right? Team in your league could really want a wide receiver. Maybe you have an extra point per reception or some kind of crazy bonus, and the wide receivers are worth more, so it's worth it to have these kind of drafts. Now, what I'm gonna do is say in this one, let's say that I'm in one of these leagues where it's 2 PPR. Okay. Now, I honestly would probably still draft Ashton Genty because he actually can catch the ball. I know he didn't do a lot of it this last year, but his sophomore year he caught the ball a bunch more, and this last year they simply just didn't have to do that. They could just hand it to him, and he was getting 10 yards a crack. So anyway, if I'm at the 3 and it is a high PPR league, I'm going to jump on Travis Hunter because, well, at least in my leagues that I play in, you get a point per tackle. So he's going to be getting those points. I know that. Now, I'm discussing and putting it on the table for most of the leagues that I commission that he get points for interceptions and sacks, yardage on interceptions, blah, blah, blah. Basically, I'll use the IDP 1-2-3 system and cut that in half. So you get a solo tackle, you'll get 1. An assisted tackle, you get half a point. Interceptions would be worth 3, sacks worth 3, and you get some points for the yardage on the interception return. But the point is last year, if you use his stats that he got in college, he would have scored 87 points. All right. So we're not talking a crazy amount of points. I'm just trying to get the guy like 3 or 4 extra points if he plays defense. That's all. Because it's really insane to think about what he's done and what he possibly could do. All right. Colson Loveland sitting there. Ollie Gordon. Devin Neal. This is the tough call. Devin Neal and Ollie Gordon. Yeah. And I am going to go Devin Neal. And there we go. Now we're moving along. And yeah. So Devin Neal is a little bowling ball out of Kansas. Homegrown. Didn't want to go out of state. He had, I believe, some other opportunities, but he stayed home and put up some monster numbers at Kansas. Now, I would compare him to like David Montgomery. So David Montgomery was a 3rd-round running back, I believe, out of Iowa State. Kind of boring name, David Montgomery. See the same thing in Devin Neal. It's Devin Neal. Get it right, dude. It's Devin Neal. But he's not flashy. He wasn't like a Heisman finalist. He wasn't this or that, but he was productive. And that's what David Montgomery has always been every single year. And so that's kind of what I see for Devin Neal. Because these 2nd-round running backs are awesome. You only had Devin Neal and Ollie Gordon go. I mean, shit, I'll smash running back one more time here. But Elijah Arroyo is sitting there, and I'm sure Jackson Dart is still sitting there. So, yeah. We got to work on this Jackson Dart ADP. Man. So, if we're talking a heavy PPR format, and Matthew Golden is still sitting there, I'm going to have to take him. Because there's talk of him being a 1st-round pick. Even as high as the Cowboys. Now, that's Ray GQ throwing that out there, and he's a big Cowboy fan, so he's a little overly invested in the Cowboys. So I don't know how much I want to believe that, but at the same time, he is very knowledgeable, and he's not going to be just throwing smoke out there to say randomly that Matthew Golden is going in the 1st or in the upper end of the 1st. Now, he also mentions with that doesn't mean that he would necessarily take him, Matthew Golden, over some other wide receivers just because he goes ahead of him. He's just saying that Matthew Golden is a very good fit in the Dallas offense because of them needing an outside wide receiver sort of to fill the old Michael Gallup role, right? They've had Brandon Cooks trying to fill that role for the last couple of seasons. Haven't worked out. And now Matthew Golden has the opportunity to sort of be a young Brandon Cooks, right? I believe he's a little bit bigger than what Brandon Cooks is, but for the most part, that's really all they want him to do. Okay. Dude, there's so many guys I love down here. It's hard to... Cam Scatabo is just sitting there begging to get picked. But Jackson Dart is still there in the 4th round. Come on. This ADP really needs to get worked on here on Sleeper. We got to hammer out these mock drafts. I'm telling you, folks, get in here, practice your draft skills, know the guys' names so that you feel comfortable when it comes time to draft. All right. So 5th round, man, Rashard Smith, Rocket Sanders. This is sick. Okay. At tight end, we still have, Elijah Arroyo didn't get picked. Come on. It's disgusting. Disgusting, I'm telling you. All right. So we're going to end it there. I got at the 3-hole, Travis Hunter in a higher tight end receiver premium, we said. Devin Neal at the 203, Matthew Golden at the 303, Jackson Dart at the 403, and Elijah Arroyo at the 503. Dude, I could not pay enough to have this kind of draft here with Golden, Dart, and Arroyo in the 3, 4, and 5 rounds. Crazy talk, I tell you. Crazy, absolutely crazy. So what we're learning from here is that, okay, there hasn't been much movement yet based off of what occurred in the Senior Bowl, okay? So either that means that people aren't buying into what happened at the Senior Bowl, or they're just waiting for the combine. Now, Elijah Arroyo, from the way the dude played and practiced and the way he was smoking defensive backs, I don't doubt the guy's talent. Jackson Dart is somebody who still could fall, but I'm leaning the other way because I kind of trust the scouts that were there with their own eyes, seeing what Jackson Dart was doing and giving me the impression that like he could potentially even go ahead of Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. Now, we all know that quarterback is the most difficult position to scout, so keep that in mind. And when you don't have a quarterback go number 1 overall, which very much could happen this year when you have a talent like Travis Hunter and you have a pass rusher that's a monster like Abdul Carter, those could be the top 2 picks in this draft. So you could be looking at the quarterbacks not going till picks 3, 4, 5, 6, and then with Jackson Dart in the mix. So you know what I'm getting at? Like we could have 3 quarterbacks in the top 15 picks, right? But they may not go until the mid to late first yet. So don't let that kill you. I mean, Josh Allen was picked like 7th or 8th overall. Patrick Mahomes was picked 10th overall. Deshaun Watson, now you can laugh now, but Deshaun Watson was pretty good when he was young. He was picked, I believe, 11th overall. So these guys, my point is that they don't have to be a 1st or 2nd overall pick. Like Jaden Daniels was the number 2 pick. Joe Burrow was the number 1 overall pick, right? And even those number 1 picks they're not always monsters, right? Like look at Trevor Lawrence. He's struggled so far. He hasn't had a great system. He hasn't had continuity. Caleb Williams, obviously, Jaden Daniels has looked better than him. So my point is, don't let it kill you. If it's a 1st round pick at quarterback and you need a quarterback, like don't be afraid to pull the trigger on these guys this year. They're not that bad. They're not Kenny Pickett 1st round bad. Okay. So that's all I'm saying. You're not going to find Jaden Daniels. You're not even going to find, they're not as good as Caleb Williams, but they could match Caleb Williams' production from last year. The talent isn't there, but the smarts might be. Because, again, these guys have played 4 or 5 years already in college, and they've seen multiple systems already. So they're ahead of the game of Caleb Williams there. They're also older. They're all older than Anthony Richardson. So that's a good sign now. All right. At the other positions, yes, we do like the young guys who had good breakout ages as a freshman, as a sophomore. Okay. And then they're coming out as a junior. But I'm not kicking aside guys like Emeka Egbuka, who stayed for 4 years. All right. So that's where I'm at on the rookies heading into the 2025 draft season. Stay tuned for more draft coverage from the Birdhouse Dynasty Show. Tomorrow evening, we're going to be looking at our Crackhead Redraft League from last night that we drafted, as I mentioned earlier, from before the Super Bowl last evening. Actually, rolled kind of into the Super Bowl. We were done by the end of the 1st quarter, but needless to say, this is insightful information of where people stand on people from a redraft perspective. So check us out tomorrow evening. We'll be going into that. Don't forget to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/Birdhouse Dynasty Show. You can get my rookie rankings there up to date and smash those out in your rookie mock drafts. Thank you for joining tonight. And remember, never stop working.